Hello and welcome to my summer TBR. We're going to be answering some questions in this video. The first question is, when is summer? For my region, summer lasts from July 5th to August 31st. Some people might disagree about that last date. I don't, because summer ends on August 31st because fall starts on September 1st. I don't like summer. Summer is the worst season, even though our summers are actually pretty fine here. They're not for me. There's a reason I live here, and that's because I don't like hot weather. And there's almost too much sun during summer. If you're wondering why July 5th, I don't know. That's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. If you don't believe me, it's raining right now. And this isn't summer rain. This is rain. This is rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and it will probably rain all week until July 5th. So that's why this is for less than 2 months instead of 3 months like summer is to other people. Again, does that mean fall is pretty long for me? Yes, and who cares? Because fall is the best season because it does not have pollen. It does not have 6 hours of daylight, and it does not have heat. I don't have AC. Those are what I care about. So I have a nice stack of physical books for once. I usually don't have any physical books with me, but for reasons we might get into, I have 5 sitting next to me right now. I also have 2 on hold and 1 out on audiobook. So I need to get some reading done. It's not good that I have 5 physical books with me that I'm trying to read over 2 months because I don't want to. I'm really trying not to extend my or renew books, especially since I think most of these were things that I put on hold, so some other people are probably waiting for them. And my bangs look crazy right now, even though I definitely use the curling iron on them. I have cowlicks and they always win. So the first book that I have is Whale Fall by Elizabeth O'Connor. What is this book about? I don't know. Don't know what it's about. I don't quite remember why I put it on hold. I didn't even realize I put it on hold until I got an email. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I guess I put some books on hold. And then another book came. Luckily the library was closed the day I tried to go pick this up because the next day another book came in, so I was able to pick them both up at the same time. So the only thing I remember is that Whale Fall is like a dead whale. So this says it's a stunning debut novel. A dead whale washes up on the shore of a remote island off the coast of Wales. There's a 18-year-old girl who's never left the island. I don't know, the whale makes her want to explore life, and then 2 English ethnographers show up and offer her another glimpse of the outside world. And I'm thinking it's kind of like a coming of age, trying to decide what you want to do with your life. This is actually pretty interesting because I'm currently listening to a nonfiction audiobook about lost cities of the UK. And there was this community until 1930 when it was evacuated that's on this island way off to the northeast, like on the way to Iceland. Super remote. At one point he says the author, that they were living almost like this other lost community that he described that was a Neolithic community. So I'm kind of wondering if that community inspired some of this because people did show up at that island and observe the people and their ways, because it was so different, especially for Europe, which when you think of remote island people, you don't usually think in Europe. So that'll be interesting. It's also nice because it's only 204 pages. What a great length of a book. This does not seem like a book that should be 500 pages. Next book is a book that I thought was going to be 600 pages and is also surprisingly short. It's not actually short, but it's less than 400 pages. Really thought there was no way. And that is A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark. I'm guessing I picked this particular one because I wanted to read some more. I don't know if this is fantasy romance or romantasy, just to see how I like the genre. And I think I might have picked this because I think all the books are out, or at least 4 books are out. And I didn't want to pick up the first book of a series of who knows how long, and deal with that. Ooh. This is interesting. Look. Who knows what this book is about? Oh, it does kind of say on the back. This looks like it's quotes, but it's not. She dreams of a man. Oh, this is the one where you're not supposed to have magic, but she's been hiding it. And then she makes a desperate bargain with a mercenary who abandoned her at her weakest. She'll help him, she'll help him and his friends sneak into the city, and he'll help her learn to use her magic. Something like that. We'll see. I don't really care what it's about. It seemed like a nice, fun summer read, even though it's got a very winter cover. Next book, which is probably the first of these books that I need to read, is Kingdom of Ash. And when I said I was so happy that those other books were short, it's because this thing is almost 1,000 pages. It's the last Throne of Glass book by Sarah J. Maas, so that's the plot. It's the last book. The series is going to end. I've had it out for a while, so I need to read it. I'm not happy about how long it is. Oh, I think I actually only have 4 because that one needs to go back. The next book is Firestorm, How Wildfire Will Shape Our Future by Edward Struzik. This is a random nonfiction I picked up. It's about wildfire and how it will shape our future. This is a summer read because summer is wildfire season. We've had a lot of rain. Hopefully wildfire season is not bad. And I think because of this, we shouldn't have local wildfires, but those pesky Canadians like to send their smoke down to us. So hopefully that's at a minimum this year. That would do, of course, on an air filter for that. The book that I have out on audiobook is All the Feels by Olivia Dade, which is the second book in that series. I read the first one a long time ago, like when it came out, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to read this one. I think it's the one, it's the actor who writes fan fiction, I think, and like the minder who was assigned to him, I think is the main couple, if I remember from that first book, which was, I think Fan is in the title or something. So I have a couple long drives coming up, so that'll be fun to listen to during that. I have Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett out on hold, so that should come in at some point. I'm okay if it takes 4 weeks for that one to come in. If it takes 8 weeks, then obviously it's not going to be read during summer, because I think that one's also a bit of a break of a book. Because I was finishing Throne of Glass, I wanted to pick up a new series. So this is me picking up a new series. Who knows if I DNF it, but my dad also read this and recommended it. So I'm going to start that. It's about building a cathedral in the Middle Ages or something. And then I think it moves on. From there, I decided to read it because I was thinking about making a video of me reading and reviewing the top 10 most tagged Goodreads historical fiction books. And I'd already read like 4 of them, so it was just reading 6 of them. And this is one of the top 10 that I hadn't read yet. I decided not to make that video for 2 reasons. One, because some of those 4 books that I read, I couldn't really remember anything about them. I mean, I just remembered the general premise of the book, but I don't remember how I felt reading them. Some of them I read, who knows, a decade ago. So that kind of makes for a lousy video. And then also the top 3 books are all World War II historical fiction, which I don't particularly enjoy. I did pick up 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo to read for that, and I don't consider that historical fiction, so running into some problems with that vlog. Instead, I'm just going to read the top 10 historical fiction that I want to read, or as a thing to push me to those ones, and I so think it's going to be this, and then that one by Madeline Miller, I think about Achilles, whatever it's called. And then maybe I'll move on to like 11 through 20 because I really want to get some good historical fiction. And the next and final book that I have on hold right now is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. That one just came out in June, so I put it on hold. And I was not the first person to put it on hold, so it'll come in when it comes in. I, like most people, liked the guest list, did not like the Paris apartment very much. I'm guessing this is going to be another, I think hers are generally considered closed room mysteries or whatever you call them. I don't know what this is about. I don't think I ever read the synopsis. So I'll read it, and it's not going to be 600 pages, so even if it's not the best book in the world, I'm sure I'll still, at minimum, skim it. Some other things coming up this summer for me. I plan on watching a good amount of the Olympics because it's summer and I don't like summer, but I do like the Olympics, so I will watch the Olympics. And while I am watching the Olympics, I will also be knitting a shawl. Like the basic person I am, I've been rewatching Outlander / it's gonna at some point turn into first time watching some of these episodes. And by rewatching, I mean rewatching the parts that I want to watch, which does not include a good half of season 1, all of season 2, I think parts of season 3, and I think I'm on season 4. If season 3 was, if all the ship stuff was in season 3, either that or I'm on season 5. But I don't think season 3 was just the boat stuff, which was absurd. So I think I'm on season 4 right now, and Claire is wearing this gorgeous wrap shawl. So of course I looked up knitting patterns because I know I'm not the only person who watches these, and I'm like, oh, I want to knit a shawl like that. But I of course already know how to knit, and they don't look that complicated. I looked up a pattern, and then I ended up to a different pattern for a wrap shawl from Outlander, which is like one with a ruffle on it that I guess Jenny wore in, I think, earlier seasons or possibly later seasons. So I'm gonna knit that, and that's a perfect thing to knit while watching Outlander, while watching the Olympics, while listening to an audiobook, because it's not a lace shawl, it's a lot of simple stitching. So there might be some more audiobooks added on to my list here by the time we get to the end. And I want to finish this shawl during summer so that I have it for winter when it's needed. And then I have a second shawl to knit at some point, but yarn is kind of expensive, so Let's just do this one. I also have other stuff. I have a sweater that I started like years ago that I could always pick up, but sweaters are kind of complicated, so it's probably good for me to start with this shawl, and then I have some like leg warmer things to wear under tall boots that I need to knit, which are the next most complicated thing, and then maybe I can move on to the sweater and I can knit the sweater. Maybe the sweater will be ready for not this winter, but the winter after. And, those are my summer plans. I'm going to read a bunch of books. I'm going to knit a shawl, watch some Olympics, and I'm just going to make it through the summer. I'm going to try not to quit my job. And maybe I will remember to update at the end of summer a little more than just whether or not I read these books. Obviously, I'm doing pretty good with wrap-ups, so I'll have a July wrap-up and I'll have an August wrap-up. But maybe there'll also be a summer check-in. I don't think I'll do a fall TBR because I don't actually know when fall ends. No, fall is September 1st to Thanksgiving. And then winter is day after Thanksgiving to unknown date, whenever it stops feeling like winter. So fall doesn't need a TBR because fall is a good time, and I will just pick up whichever books I have decided not to read right now because they don't seem summery enough to read. I hope you enjoyed this. You can, do all the stuff you're supposed to do if you want. You can completely ignore this. And thanks for watching. Hopefully this wasn't awful for you.